But let's kind of talk and analyze the basic chord progression first. You can look at my lead sheet with the suggested chords for comping. We are playing it in the key of G, but it starts on C major. And don't worry about the intro right now, we'll come back to that in a second, but let's just look at the basic, as if you were to see the lead sheet would not have the intro, it just starts on a C major chord when you see it in a fake book. So it starts on the 4 chord, that's what's important to know, it starts on the 4. It's oftentimes when you look at a song and you see the first chord, you're like, oh, we're in the key of C because it says C major 7. That's not always true, so you have to be a little bit more careful about studying the rest of the progression. And usually just a tip as far as the key center, if you don't see the 1 sharp on the left side, is look at the ending chord, what the final chord of the song is. That will pretty much always be the key that you're in. If find the chord where it ends on that chord, so G major. And again, I know you're looking at my guitar tabs lead sheet, but even if you were to look at the fake book key chart, just a general lead sheet, you would see probably G6. And not the turnaround, don't be fooled by that either, where it might go G, then G7, it's just, that's the last measure, which would be measure 32 of the song form, general song form. It would just be measure 31. So we start off with the 4 chord. C major 7. Now on some charts, it then goes to C minor. I like F7 or F9. It's a bluesy version of the C minor 6 chord. So here's C minor 6, but here's F9. So I kind of prefer F9 when I'm comping. So I'd go like C major 7. It must have been Moonglow. That's the F9. Then it goes to the 1, G major. And you can do G major 7 or G major 6, your choice. Just don't do G7, okay, or G minor. So that, again, I always kind of say you have 3 families, major, minor, and dominant. In this case, we want the major family. So G major 7 sounds good, or G6. Way up in the blue, and then the 2 dominant, I'm kind of analyzing here, A7, and I'm doing A13. You can do A7 like this. And then that 2 dominant, it's kind of a prolongation of the 2, then turns to minor. And that's the real diatonic 2. It must have been Moonglow to the D7, the real 5, 2, 5, 1. And then G major. Then this little riff that I want to talk about that's very characteristic of this song, especially when you're playing the melody part of basically the head, is we want to do this little riff, or I wrote it here on my chord melody. So that's a G. I'm going to show it to you how to accompany G/B, B flat dim, and that can also be thought of as the E flat 7. I'm playing as a 3-note shape with a flat 9. You can look at my grids. A minor 7, or you can do A minor 6, but A minor 7 sounds better, and then B flat dim. And again, that can also be thought of as E flat 7 with a B flat in the bass, and then G/B. And then that is essentially going to pull us right back to the top, C major 7. Okay. So it'd be like this. Or this. It must have been Moonglow, nice and slow, F9, G major. Way up in the blue, A13, A minor. It must have been Moonglow. And here's the riff. And 3, 4, 1, 2, and. Let's get that rhythm. 1, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and. Again. 1, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and. I'm gonna play it here. Then that follows the melody. 1 that led me straight to you. 4, 1. Sorry, from the top. Sorry, 1. And oh, by the way, of course, that can be used as an intro, so the band could go. And then C major. It must have been Moonglow. way up in the blue. A minor, 1, in the D7, and here's a riff. Bum, 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 bum. C, F7, I'll yell out G, A7, and you know, always map out your bass line, A, D, and here's the riff. And that second time, I like to go, I don't know if I wrote this on my chart or not. I'd like to go 2, 5, 1 to close it out. A, D, G, and then it stays on G. But a lot of people just do that same riff, and they go to the G7, the B section. So that's optional. I just wanted to share that I like to go 2, 5, 1. And then we're at the B section. But let's review the chords again just to make sure you all have these variations. And if you do, if it's no problem to how I had written it on that lead sheet, feel free to experiment. I'm doing C major 7 down here, or C major 7 over here, or C6. You know, just experiment with the 6th string roots or the 5th string roots. Just kind of have fun with that. And then F9, F13. You know, experiment again with where you're playing some of these shapes, or C minor 6 if you prefer. This will all be determined by the bass player if you're playing in a band, because whatever they play will be the chord that folks will hear. C minor 6 and F9 are very, very similar, but you have kind of that choice. And you'll notice when we look at some soloing ideas, that I'm actually thinking C minor for that second chord, even though the band might be playing F9. And then G major 7 or G major 6. I'm just showing you a couple options right here. G major 7, G6, G. You know, experiment with the fingerings. And then A7 or A13, A9, A9 up here, 12th fret. Yeah, it's really nice.
Where it says the A7,
yeah,
it's saying A7/B flat, but I'm having some trouble figuring out how you put the B flat in the bass at the same time as you play A7, because they're.
which one are you looking at? I'm sorry, I don't have it. I'm not looking at it right now.
Down. I'm starting it here. Okay, G.
Oh wait, which PDF are you looking at? Are you looking at the lead sheet?
Oh, it may be an older one.
Yeah. Can you look at? Do you have the one that I just sent out the other day? Do you have that printed by chance?
Oh, I had this one printed out so nicely. I have to get out my iPad for the one that you just sent out. I didn't realize I was not looking at the same.
Yeah, let me just take a look at what you're talking about for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this could have changed over the years since my last version of it.
I mean, I do have.
Oh no, yeah. So that's E flat 7/B flat. I see what you're saying, and that's what I was saying. I'm just treating it as a B flat dim, as a minor 6.
Oh, I see. So the A flat. The walk down here is. I was thinking it's the B and then the B flat and then the A, but it's
and then backed up, yeah.
But then I was not rocking on the E flat and the B flat and the
E flat/B flat.
right.
And then, it's the same thing as one down.
Okay.
Let's do that turnaround a little bit. Just I know this might be new for you, and this is I want to talk about slash chords a little bit, how you might see it notated. So here's G/B, and I'm doing it as a 3-note version. I'm not adding on the 4th note here. So I like the 3 notes because it's a little bit more ambiguous, and it sounds nice too. So it's the next chord. Some fake books will say E flat 7/B flat. Oh, I think of it as a B flat dim. This is a 3-note voicing. Now if you add the diminished note in there, the E natural sounds great too. And then A minor 7. there's a lot of maneuvering that you have to do if you're adding on 4 notes, but as 3 notes, it works really nicely. So G/B, B flat dim 7, that's how I'm calling it, A minor 7, back up, E flat/B flat, and then G/B. Okay, so just work out the fingering. 1 and 3, 4, 1, 2, and again 1. One more time, 1. And from the top, nice and slow, really slow. Yeah, please play the melody if you. G major 7. A minor. And here's that riff. 1. Straight to you again. I say F9, G major 7. Dear one, hold me fast. A13, A minor 7. I'm just yelling out the chords. I like D9. And the riff. 1. Lord, please let this last. And beautiful, yeah. And again, on that second time, you could do this. If you want to go 2, 5, 1, that would be fine. Work it out with your band. In the lead sheet, you'll often just see this, and that's fine. The G with the G/B, and then it goes to this, then the G, the 1 chord becomes dominant. So I tend to say this in every class because it's such a popular type of a modulation scheme that the 1 then becomes the dominant. But it doesn't go to the 4 chord, which is what you typically expect. So it's got a unique B section. But before we hit that, I don't want to go too fast with the chords. Anybody need help with the chord shapes? I'm kind of showing you what I like to do. C major 7, and then F9. G major 7, A13. It's just the colors that I kind of prefer. The melody is on the 9, because like, so I got that A13 with the 9 on top, and then it turns to minor, and then D7. I like D9, but you can also do D13, because that's what the melody note is, the B note, and you can kind of see my chord melody, this, and then the riff. 1. And that's bum, 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 bum. Yeah. So questions on the chords at all? Let's take this section by section and let's just hit the melody because it's so fun. And thank you, Amber, for playing the melody. Did you notice how easy the melody is? When you play, anybody else learn the melody?
Yeah. It's sweet and simple. Yeah.
What is it? What's going on with the melody? It's a triad. It's an E minor triad. You maybe think of it as G6, but then it's not a triad, right? But it's just E, G, and B. And it's just playing around with, just repeating. The beauty of it is that it shifts colors because of the chords underneath it. So like on the C major, here's a motif, E, G. It must have been Moonglow. So on that first chord, and then it's a third and the 5, then it becomes the sharp 11 on the F9, really dreamy. This is F9 sharp 11. You don't have to do that when comping, that's overkill, right? I mean, I like to do it, maybe I'm extreme, but to help the vocalist out, in my case, if I'm singing, I need all the help I can get, so I'll hit that note. So you can hit that, otherwise just do F9. And then G major, it's a 6th degree. And then on the A7, it's A9. So I'm just kind of showing you how that melody note changes color because of the chord. It's the same motif over and over. And then A minor. Then it becomes a 13, this note. And then the riff on the root. And check out the triad if you want to see what I'm doing here? I wrote it on my chord melody. I do this often. Kind of almost bluesy. So it's a really bluesy riff in nature, that sound. And again now, and that's how I wrote out my simple, quote, simple chord melody arrangement, is you think about the comping chords that you would use, and then you analyze what the melody would be, how it relates, meaning like, is it the 6th, is it the 3rd, is it the 9? Then you can grab those notes on top and then have the shapes. But here we go, just a melody. One, and it's just this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Way up in the blue, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It must have been Moonglow. And then the riff, 1. That led me straight to you. Again. Yeah. Way up. Beautiful. Let's do it again. I still hear you saying, do one hold me fast. Nice. 1, 2, lie in the rain. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, you can play low. That's what I was saying. Like, you know, if we play it a few times, you'll say, oh, I got it. It's just an E minor triad. Look at how I'm holding this. This is a shape. You can do it here. You know, just find your E minor triad and you know, just think about that as far as like when you're playing just a melody. It's nice to kind of dissect it that way. Let's go on to, let's play a little bit quicker. I generally don't play a song too fast, but just for fun and for the feel, see if you can play it at this tempo. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It must have been Moonglow, way up in the blue. 1, 2. It must have been Moonglow. Yeah. Dear one, hold me fast. Yeah. And I am afraid. Yeah. Let's take it to the B section. That was really nice. Oh, let's start with the chorus. G7. And I prefer G9. So the 9 is an A natural, not a flat 9. I like it just a dominant 9. Not gypsy jazz dark, you know, not this, that'd be diminished with the flat 9. So I'm just thinking dominant natural 9. And then you want to walk it down to the 6. So we're kind of, I'm thinking still like we're in G, even though the 1 is now dominant. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's pretty built into the arrangement, is that walk down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes to A7. Heavenly song. I'm doing 13. Come from every D9, E flat 9, D9, C flat 9, and C major. Now I don't know if I wrote all that little side slipping stuff, but I like to go A7. I said A7, but notice I'm playing what? 13. That's so common, you know. You can play the chart will say A7, but you can play A9, A13. Do you want to play A7 sharp 5? That's a little bit more tension, so maybe keep it natural with the 9 or the 13, not flat 5. Save that stuff for your solo guitar arrangement, you know, for when you have playing by yourself. But with an ensemble, it's nice to play it a little bit more safe. So A13, and then D9. Now this is where I screwed up a half step. This might not be written in the other fake books, but E flat 9, D9. So that's called just kind of some side stepping, side slipping. You might hear different terminology, but it'd be 1, 2, 3, So I went up above, then I did a kind of a tritone sub here, D9, D flat 9, and where's that gonna pull us? Back home to the last A section, C major. So again, did I write that? I'm gonna check my chart here. On the B section, I did not write the D flat 9 on there. That's optional, but I wrote the E flat 9. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That was a D flat 9, which is a sub for the D flat 9 would be a sub for what? Nice. G7, right? G7 is the 5 of C. So it's, again, it kind of, the dominant chord would pull us back there. Yeah, that's just called tritone substitution. So D flat 9. Can you put a G there? Sure, you can put a G7 if you want, but it's kind of nice to keep that continuity of the chromatic bass line. B section. 1, 2, 3, 4. A13, A9, heavenly songs come from everywhere. And last A. And there's Moonglow, F9, G7, way up in the blue. I said G7, I meant G major 7, A13, A minor 7. Must have been Moonglow, and the riff. That from the top. Da, da, ba, 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 ba. Yeah, you can play chords or melody, or whistle it. It must have been Moonglow. Second A, C major. I still hear you say, yeah. Dear one, hold me fast, and I end up praying. Yeah. Oh Lord, please let B section. Let's hit the B section melody. Yeah. It kind of follows the chord if you're doing a 9th chord like this, with the melodies on the 5th degree. Why is that important? For me, it helps me memorize melodies to know, like, oh, it starts on the 5th degree, starts on the root, starts on the 3rd. But also, you kind of think about that when you're soloing too. If you kind of want to base your improvisation around the melody a little bit more, then you can target and play around those particular degrees. So in this case, the 5th degree. So, and then it lands on the 5th, and then it does. That's the 9th degree. Come from everywhere. So, and I think I wrote something a little bit different on my chord melody arrangement, but so can we all look at the melody on the A9 chord? We have this heavenly song, and then 1, 2, and then last A. I wrote a C6-9 on the chord grid there, and that's I don't know if you could do C6. I didn't talk about that, but you could do C major 7, C6-9, and now when there's Moonglow. So again, play around with the qualities of chords. Let's do that B section melody. It's pretty easy, right? I hope 1, 2, B section melody. Heavenly songs, 1, 2, come from everywhere. Last A. Ba-da-ba-da-da. Nice. And let's just finish it out. Yeah. From the top. That should have been the, yeah, second A. A minor. Now to the B. A7. Nice. Low shuffle. Nice. Roger, take the solo. We'll go around if you feel like improvising. Everyone else just play chords really softly in the background. A minor. Yeah. Here comes the B section. Please, yeah. Yeah. You can play the melody if you want. You can sing it, you can whistle it. Here's the last A, C major. F9. Yeah. A13. Darlene, you wanna play the melody? Sing it? You wanna sing it? Top. F9. You don't have to, by the way. You can pass, you guys. Yeah, no stress. Leslie, do you wanna do something? Yeah, if you don't want to be on the spot, then just say pass. It's okay. Yeah, and second A, or just play the melody. You know, just it's different from when you get your chance to solo. It feels different. It's like, oh, I'm the soloist. So it's a good experience to do that. Yeah, or try things out. Last A. C major. A minor. And the riff. Nice, Leslie. Bob. I'm sure you all have the progression memorized. A minor 7, D7, and the riff. And C major. Second A. Part of this is getting the form down too. G major. Yeah. A minor, 2-5. Nice. And 1. Here comes that B section. One more A. Nice. Yeah, just play around the melody. It sounds so good. Aaron, you gonna take some? Lovely. Yeah. comes that B section. A7, D9, D flat, and last A. Nice. Nice, Jerry, you want to take it a little bit? Second A.
I sat out two. Yeah, where am I? I sat out two. Here, are you holster lower? I could be.
Yeah, you're not in standard tuning. Have you been out in standard tuning the whole day today?
I think I've been where I've been lost all day.
I mean,
I just changed strings.
did you switch guitars since last class?
No.
Oh, weird. So you're a whole step lower.
I'm a whole step lower. That's why
Yeah, everything's a whole step lower. I don't know about
I'm sorry.
Yeah, interesting. So you have to move everything up a whole step, if that makes sense. Yeah, please. Go ahead. Yeah. Where are we at now, you guys? Yeah. Here comes that B. Last A. G. Yeah. This here's some blues harp. Oh, but not that kind of harp. Go for it, Tracy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going, you guys. Nice. B section. Everybody sing it out. Tag it. That. One more. Last time. Straight to you. I like a kind of a bluesy ending, so I would end it on a G7. And I would do G pentatonic. Blues. Some blues licks in the on G or something. G13, G9. It seems like we talk about this every class. G9, G7 sharp 9. If I sharp 9, I always associate the Purple Haze, and that's more of a, the blues. So you can kind of choose your colors, even within the dominant chord. It could be kind of nice and sweet and pretty. 13, and I would do G major pentastill. Can I hear everybody play G major? By the way, I'm demonstrating, but can I hear everybody play G major pentatonic? Here you can watch how I do it. If you don't know this sliding scale, I call it sliding scale. I'm going to actually just show it to you. It's GBD. And I use just one, I use 2 fingers for this scale. I use my first finger, my third finger. So I'm going GBD like this. Do, re, mi. Was that?
You said GBD, that's A.
GAB, thank you. And then DE, the 5 and the 6. And that's your G major pentascale. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. GAB, DE. And yeah, how I'm doing is like this. I'm just sliding like this. And then the reason why I like this particular shape is because you can take it through 3 octaves easily, because you think of it like this. 1 octave is this. The next octave would be this. And the next octave would be this. It's the same fingering, same shape. Very much like a piano player would run through the 3 different octaves, same fingering. So it's just kind of a neat little way to play the same 5 notes like this. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So the 6 is the same as the 3. It sounds really nice and pretty. Add those hammer-ons, the sliding, get really bluesy. Now the funny thing is, G major pentatonic is the same as E minor. So a lot of guitar players know this. So you can think of it like that, E minor penta blues. Or this. So again, you can get that. Now if you want that more, I was saying, even with within the dominant chord, there's some different shadings still. So here's G7 sharp 9, a la Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze, this chord. So here I would do G minor blues, this. Put it down here. That's this chord. If you all don't know it, I'll yell it out in tab. on the 5th string, D, G, number, sorry, 10, 9, 10, 11. So it's root 3rd, flat 7, sharp 9. Yeah, there's different fingers. You can do it down here too. You can do it down here. But essentially, this is the most popular shape of it. 10, 9, 10, 11. But the notes are G, B, F, no 5th, and then the A sharp or B flat, which is the sharp 9. Now the interesting about this, if I called it a B flat, there's a B natural, so you get this collision, the thirds. You have both on G, you get the major third and the minor third. But we no longer are calling that the minor third, we're renaming it as sharp 9. And then you get the flat 7, so you get this sound. But you have to kind of play it like you mean it. And to me, the choice scale, G minor, pentatonic, or with the blues. So I'm doing this. But here's a blue note. So if y'all want to do this with me, G minor blues for fun. G, B flat, C, C sharp, the flat 5, or D flat, it could be called, D, F, G. And that's just one octave there. That's the minor blues scale. Here it is, 2 octaves. And that's what, we associate as, the blues. So generally I'm kind of thinking, do I want it kind of sweeter? Do I want the major penta of G? Or do I want more bluesy rock style? You can just kind of choose your flavor for that ending chord. Sometimes I like this chord. Flat 5. So jazz it up a little bit. There's a lot of different things you can do, but that's where you can have a lot of fun, is on the dominant chords. You can choose all these different colors. Let's talk a little bit about some soloing ideas for today. This is not something we often get a chance, but it's such an easy song, right? Any questions on the chords or the melody at all? No? I passed out a sheet called Triad Study number 1. If you want to take a look at it, you can. This is just going to hopefully open up some ideas for you as far as improvisation goes on playing the changes a little bit more. Besides, obviously, the concept of, hey, I could just play around the melody, which is always a good idea. You can kind of simplify the changes a little bit to just the basic triad. And for this particular song, I would, the first thing is the first chord is C major, so I'm kind of just thinking C major triad, this. That was kind of in the mood there. And then for the F7, instead of thinking F, I'm thinking just C minor. So that's actually one of the most, to me, important strategies for soloing, is to practice major to minor. So basically, you have C major, C minor. Now I'm actually adding a few notes around there too, but the triad is still my visualization. So here's C major here, C minor. And that's what that triad study shows. It shows not all, but yeah, it shows different inversions of C major to C minor. So I want to be, and I'm on the top 3 strings. So I'm kind of do this. And then G. And then A major. A minor. And then for the D7, I'm doing A diminished triad. That's a neat little strategy. Is you take the 2 chord and you diminish it, so you get a flat 9 on the D. And then on the G, I'm going to do some blues licks. C major, C minor, C, A minor, A diminished, G blues, C, minor, A major, A minor, A diminished, and G blues. When I say G blues, I'm being very loose with that terminology. Some of you know this from my soloing class, but that's what I'm trying to tie in today a little bit here, is I'm thinking kind of the G major pentatonic and the G minor blues combined. I'm very liberal with that when I think just kind of blues licks. So an idea of that would be to do this. You have the 5, flat 5, 4, 3, flat 3, and then 2, 1. So everybody do this with me. First string is great, just on one, all on one string. Start on the D, and it's kind of the hybrid, I call it, or composite scale of the G blues, major and minor connected. Chromatic. Sorry, I just demonstrated. 2 more chromatic notes, and then go straight to G. So don't do the flat 9. Don't do this. Leave out that note. But you have this. Now that's not an exact lick I want you to do, but those are the notes that I'm often thinking, like, oh, I could go, or this. So I'm just kind of really liberal with those collection of notes. And then when I go up a little bit higher, I add the 6 on, and the flat 7. And those again are, if you're going to take both the major pentatonic and the minor blues, those are the notes that you would get. You get this. So when I'm thinking, and then I kind of have that triad like this. So that was all just playing around with that really slippery chromaticism. This. And then here's triad C major, C minor, just to show you G major, A major. This is just triad notes only. A minor, A diminished, and then this. A minor, A diminished, and that's the A section. You guys go for it. 1, 2, 3, C major. Try the triad method. C minor, G major. Even if you're just playing the triad notes at first, visualize those shapes. A minor, diminish it, and blues. Yeah, and when I say blues, just do whatever you want. Just try this. Go. Yeah, get chromatic, get that slippery lick, or insert your favorite blues lick. Maybe this, or again, you can just have a lot of fun, giving yourself that freedom of just within the limitation. So you're working within a structure, a template of some ideas. But there's still a lot of freedom for improvisation. To me, that's important to have those kind of guidelines for yourself. Again, if the triad study is new for you, that's really an important study. Master your triads all over C major, C minor, G major, and that's what that study is. A major, A minor, A diminished, and then D or G. And it sounds so good just navigating those, quote, changes or playing the changes versus just thinking only one scale, which is still good. Obviously, the melody is just that triad, so you can still just float on the pentatonic scale. But this is a great approach for jazz soloing in general. Let's hit that A section again. Just goof around with the triads. Nice and slow. I'll yell it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. C major, C minor. You can even just play the chord. G major. The triad, A major for the A7, A minor, diminish it, and your blues lick. And top, C triad soloing method, the easy triad. It's easy once you get a D, D7 is A diminished, and blues. Again, just an A section. Yeah. A major. Yeah. A minor. A diminished. And the blues. That's the 2 dominant, A minor, A diminished, and G blues. Yeah, and I'm kind of working you through how I like to practice improv. I wouldn't go to the B section. I always say this, it seems like every class, but I wouldn't go to the B section until like, hey, I've really got the A section down. I can say something with it. If not, I'm not going to go to the B section. That's the only problem with jam sessions. When you go to jam sessions, you know, sometimes you don't have opportunity for practice, like just working on one section or one chord movement over and over to where you really work it down. So make sure you isolate when you practice the sections and then piece it together. You know, if you're using iReal Pro with a jam track, backing track, you know, loop that A section over and over like we're doing right now, then take it to the B section. As James Brown would say, hit. I was quoting some melodies. Your eyes are blue, your kiss is too, I never knew. There's a lot of melodies that use this progression. So that's where that's another aspect, is learn melodies. You know, quote melodies within your soloing. There's a natural voice leading. I don't know if you caught that too. This do, 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 chromatic voice lead. Do, 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 do. Can everybody do this with me? Then we'll end on E. That's the third, and then go to E flat, and then go to D. It's chromatic, and then C sharp, and then C. C again. That's for the D7, and then on the G chord, B. Or if you want to blues it up, you go, get sassy and put the B flat and the B, the cross relation, meaning minor third, major third. Like, am I minor or am I major? That's what the blues is about. Follow the voice leading, 1, 2, 3, E natural. Stay there. And your blues. Yeah. Again. Again. So what I was just doing there, that was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, sing it too. It helps the listener navigate those changes. So I was just kind of filling in like. So all I'm doing is adding in a few other notes, and those are right out of Triad. With the 6th degree, okay, no, right out of Triad. With the 6th degree and 7th degree, I do like this. So again, add in those other notes, but now we're talking about voice leading. And that little bit of voice leading with a couple other notes is really sweet style of soloing too. That mixed in with the triad approach, it's a nice strategy, and the blues licks. There you go. But one other thing I have to say is that if you notice the power of the triad practicing, there is an A major and an A minor, A diminished, and then G. So again, that was C major, minor, G, A minor, diminished. Next inversion. G, A minor, A diminished, and G. And then I'd go up to the next position, C minor, etc. I'm just showing you how I would practice the G. A major, and from A minor is a sequence, A minor, A diminished, and G. And similar to the B section. So use that triad study if you're wondering, what is this about? That's how I like to often solo in a really simplistic way. You don't have to play a lot. You don't have to think scales. It's just, you're kind of just basing your soloing off those chord tones and trying to find those nice voice leading. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.